Welcome back. It's your girl T Dot, and I am here with the MixNSingle podcast once again. It's another great Monday evening. Thank you guys for showing up for us. Make sure that you share this video, share and subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram and everywhere. So today, audience, we have with me, Onay and Tony, and we have Crystal J. Cole with us today.
I'm in here.
Hey, Crystal.
Hi. Hey, everybody.
Yes. Hey, Crystal. Welcome. Crystal is a blogger. She's a traveler. She's an influencer. She is, what else are you? You're a trainer.
I'm trying to figure it out still. Still trying to find my way. But yes, all those things are accurate. I'm definitely all those and still looking for some more hats that'll fit.
Yes. Listen, hey, I got a friend that does crochet, so you might want to get some
figure it out. Yeah, because that's hot right now.
Well, welcome and thank you for joining us today. I've been real excited about having you here.
Thank y'all so much. I just was happy I was in town and I could be here. So I was excited. I'm nervous, but you know, you always get nervous when you got to talk.
Girl, you with family
real.
At this point. At this point, we family. So I want to jump right into it.
Yeah. Because I've been waiting all damn week. I went to the website.
And listen.
I read the blog.
Oh,
listen,
Lord.
And I'm offended, damn it.
Don't feel obligated to lean back or anything like that. Just give it all to us. I want to know first. You started out with your blog being named Keep Your Whack Ass Foreplay.
This is very true.
And that caught my attention. I was like, oh, okay. So I want to hear about what that means. You know, what was the motivation behind that? And how did you journey from that to where you are now, Real Cole World?
So I'm gonna be honest, my last name is actually Cole. So it's in my posts and my blog, I'm always real. Okay. And then it's just like the world. I'm just real Cole World. So that's where I went. And one of my friends was like, is that the name you want to, have as your brand? And I started thinking about it. I don't know if I want to do that. So then I changed it. But Keep Your Whack Ass Foreplay started from a horrible date that I went on. Okay. And I'm just going to keep it real. I went out with a guy and I'm not going to lie. We did our thing. Okay. And so I was like, I want to go out. Take me out. The same thing we all say as women. Take me out. I don't want to just be in the house. Do something with me. So he finally said, okay, cool, let's go out. So I'm, he tells me at the last minute, but I'm getting dressed, I'm ready. And then I turn around, he got his whole just laid out just like that. And I'm just like, that's what are you doing?
That is wet.
No, it's not as he should. We're about to go out on a date. Chill out.
Well, first, what we need to do is handle some things.
No, we've already handled it. That's the thing.
Is this a first date?
No, this wasn't the first date.
But
so we had already been there. It was supposed to be a date, but I knew if that happened, the date was not going to happen.
Right. And you had already explained
and I just turned around and I was like, man, keep that old whack ass foreplay. And that's exactly what I said to him. He was looking at me like, damn. I was like, put that shit up and get out. Like, like, stop. So, I'm sure that's going to lead into some
more conversation. Yes. So I do have one other question. So moving from that, what did it take for you to empower yourself to move beyond that, to being, a lot of men think, or what about you? Do you think he thought that he was comfortable? It was okay to do that.
Well, I made the mistake of already sharing that part of myself with him prior to doing the things like in order, quote unquote. And there's no right way to do it, but we do have these ideas that have been set in us since we were children about what we're supposed to do as far as dating. He takes you out, you take time, you get to know each other. You don't have sex with them, you wait until you're married. But people have sex before they're married now.
Of course,
that's what people do. So I was upset with myself because I went there already, and then I tried to change the standard. And so that's where the problem came in. That he was like, "Well, we're already doing this, so let's just do it." And I'm just like, "No, I want to do this, but I should have led." With that instead of that.
Right.
So that's where I'm
courting.
I did.
So let me ask you a question. How is it dating after 30? And also tell me, like, if someone could give you advice from 10 years ago, if you could give your own self advice 10 years ago, what would it be?
I actually was talking to my best friend about that this morning. I think the best thing I could say is just to be honest with yourself, which is hard sometimes. Because, you know, if you hanging out with somebody and you know in your heart, this is not going anywhere, don't waste your time. And I think at 30, my time is already precious. You know, I think it's precious anywhere in life. But at 30, it's just like, what are we doing? Like, you know, what's up? Either we're going to do this thing or we're not going to do this thing, you know? So I think if I could, I would just say be honest and just tell people what your expectations are up front, regardless of what. It's going to be okay, whether they like you or whether it works or it doesn't. It's going to be good. You just have to trust and go for it, you know?
So tell us what dating is like in the cold world.
Oh, my gosh. It's cold. It's chilly. You know, I'm kind of at a place now where, like, if somebody shows me those things that I like up front, I'm like, okay, I can give them my time and my energy as well, because my time is precious, too.
Right.
I think I was always so much more concerned about the other person than myself.
Right.
So now it's about me. My goal in dating is to remain all of who I am and to just let them add to my life.
Amen.
That's really what I'm looking for right now.
Amen.
Do you think that with that particular guy, obviously he's a bust, right?
Definitely. A bust.
But with that particular guy, do you think if you would have approached it in a different way, maybe made things you watching the show? You make
my own voice. Oh man, my own voice.
Do you think if you would have switched things around with him, did he show you enough where it could have been something?
No, I'm be honest. It was just kind of a loneliness feeling, and it was the attention that I more so wanted more than anything. You know, that this person is giving me attention, so I'm going to go ahead and let my guard down and do this, even though I knew from the beginning this is not how I want to do this. I already know what my standards are, but sometimes you want something so bad, you just, okay, I'll just take this. You know, this is better than nothing, and it's not. So I would, honestly, I always tell women, like, in your singleness, just, you know, flourish, because that's when you become most attractive, when you're happy, because your light, you just radiate this glow, and people see it. They can sense it, you know, and that kind of sends people who are not right for you away. But when you're doubting yourself, that's when those other ones come, because they see you don't know what you want.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think it would have worked out either way, because he wasn't doing anything. He didn't deserve anything of what I gave him, to be honest.
And I'm so glad you said that, because as a single man, I've said this on the show more than once, I get frustrated when quality women waste time and emotional equity on men who introduce themselves as Mr. I Ain't Shit. Right. And then by the time you get to a man who is quality, now that brother has to climb these walls and dig through all of this emotional garbage that was created by the man previous. So talk to us about how that experience has changed the dating arena for you, as far as who you entertain, who you allow into that space.
Well, honestly, the biggest thing that happened for me, and I didn't share this, but I was in an abusive relationship. It was physically and emotionally abusive. Wow. So in that relationship, I kept, you know, there's this time when you come out of it and you say, what is wrong with me? Why am I what is it about me that I'm attracting this type of person? And why am I accepting this type of behavior when I know this is not right? So it's a blessing and a curse, because that relationship was horrible. But it also let me know more than ever what I want. It let me know what I deserve, and let me know how strong I am, you know, because I dealt with so much. And I'm just like, you know, I'm not no bottom of the barrel ass woman. So I need to remind myself of that. So when somebody steps to me with something that's not up to par, then I need to just say, you know what, this is not going to work for me. And I've done that, you know, and if I don't care how good you look, how fine you are, how sexy you are, how much money you make, I want to be whole. I'm already whole. So with you, I want to just add to what I have. You're not going to tear me down. I'm not doing that again. So it is hard, because, you know, some people just, they see physical. They say, oh, she fine. I want to, you know what they say.
Sure.
Yes.
But you got to get past that, because there's so much more to me than just the way I look. Because I got shit too. I got shit that's going to piss you off. I'm going to make you mad. You're going to be like, this helpful. I'm like, yeah. You know, so, you know, we all have our little things.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think definitely my mistakes have made me stronger and better. It just helps me to see what I want and just be honest.
I like it.
I love it. That was awesome.
So what are some things that you wish that guys knew or understood about women in general? Like, what are your thoughts about
all of them? Okay, girls, don't get mad at me, y'all. I'm speaking about myself.
Well, let me tell you about me. So I'm that person that, you know, everybody's called to the carpet with me. Men, women, we all got shit, and nobody can say one is better than the other because we all got shit. So
this is true.
Give it to us.
So if I had to say what men should understand about women, it's like one of the things we really need is that safety and security. And most of the time in relationships, they don't provide either, or one or the other. And so that's why we tend to get frustrated with them, which is why I go back to being honest. If you tell people what you want up front, they know what the expectation is. Even if they don't want the same thing, they have to be honest enough with themselves to say, I am not looking for anything serious. I would like to hang out with you. I like to spend time with you. I like to be intimate with you, but I don't want to be in a relationship with you. Give me the opportunity to choose. When you lie and you're dishonest, you take that choice away from me. And then I'm left with this feeling. And I think that if most guys would just be like, I ain't looking for nothing. Tell me you got a wife. Because that's what, they play these. Don't be looking like that. They be lying.
I can't tell you the truth about my situation.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
That's going to rob me of an
No,
opportunity.
It is, and that's the point. That's the thing. You tell people because you give them the opportunity to make the choice about how they want to be. Because some of us have standards. I don't want to be your side piece. I don't want you to have a girlfriend because I want to do everything with you. Right. I don't want to have to dim myself down because you got a gal, because you got a wife. I'm just not going to fuck with you. Period.
Right.
So,
that's,
I mean,
and line in that.
Yeah,
I want somebody else's somebody.
No,
keep that over
so
there.
let's talk about you mentioned security, and I'll speak for the handful of men that will allow me to speak for them. Okay. A lot of us we misconstrue security with just the physical. Like, I got you. I'm gonna protect you. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. I wish it would. You know what I mean? But speak on the type of security that I think most women are looking for that's beyond the physical. When you talk about, I want to feel secure.
Well, I actually dated, the last guy I dated, he was a sweetheart. I always told him, I said, man, you were the sweetest guys I ever dated. But he didn't have shit. He don't want shit. He didn't have drive. He didn't have, because drive to me, it means that you're going to make sure our household, our family is taken care of. You don't have that. So who's going to do it? Me? Right. That's not the way I was brought up. Right. You're the man, it's God, man, me, children, dog. Okay? Don't forget about the dog.
So dog going to get
the dog is going to get taken care of as well.
Confused.
But I mean, in terms of just handling your business as a grown man, like you need to be handling your own, like you need to be whole without me. I'm going to help you. I'm going to be there for you. They always say behind every strong man is a strong woman. Right. But I need to know that you on your own are strong. This man I was dating did not have a refrigerator in his own home, and he had a child. And I'm like, well, how do you manage? Well, I walk around the corner to my mama's house. That ain't going to work for me, bro. That's not going to work for me. Yeah. And I say just security in terms of just having your shit together, like on your own. Because when we come together, it's a powerhouse. It's not me doing everything. Like, I don't want to come in working hard, just harder than you. Right. Like, I want to lead. I want to see you like, oh, he can lead my family. Okay, I'm going to follow this man. Because that's essentially what that's how it's supposed to be.
But what if he got potential?
Potential will have you Okay.
Somebody
one of my good friends says that potential will have you
That's all right. I like
so I'm not saying you have to come all together, but because he was just like, well, I'm working on everything. Work on it before you step to someone saying you want to be in a relationship. And that's okay.
A whole relationship.
Get yourself together.
Get your shit together. Because I'm not coming to you half.
Right.
No.
I think security also entails safety in terms of what we're talking about, how I'm expressing myself to you. Are you able to keep what I'm saying, in your heart and not use it against me?
Right.
That type of thing. I think security.
Yeah.
I think that's also included.
Yeah.
But I agree. Yeah.
And not being judged.
Yeah.
That is so important because, the men that tell us that it's okay to share, but then in the back of their mind, they're holding on to those traumas. And when you use our traumas against us or to make a point,
preach.
That's painful to us, and that makes us feel like we can't be emotionally vulnerable with you. So it's very important to have not only security financially, but you want to be secure emotionally. You want spiritually as well. You don't want someone that's going to tear down your spirit or make you feel like you have to dim your light. So there's a lot of facets to being secure in a relationship or with another being.
So I won't lie. I that's a lesson that I'm still learning. The whole don't use my stuff against
just
me.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. I thought this was a safe place.
It is.
I'm not feeling safe right now.
I never would have.
I would never right now.
You don't come across as
no. So what I've been guilty of, and I'll be very transparent. What I've been guilty of is you tell me something about you that, I can't do this. I'm not in the space where I'm able to do this yet. I'm not able to process in this way yet. And I get frustrated because I'm like, well, why not? I can do it. Why can't you do it?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so I
see.
keep coming back to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, maybe the reason you can't do this is because you're not trusting me, or maybe the reason you can't do this is because you just don't love me, or whatever. And I've heard women say to me, "You're judging me," or I feel like you're weaponizing my vulnerability, right? Where I'm saying, no, you're in a different space. I don't want to hear about your past. I don't want to hear about the abuse, because I would never do that to you. Still having to take into consideration that it still happened to you,
And
right?
it shapes who you are
And it shapes who you
as
are,
a person,
right.
and so things trigger you. That's
Sure.
why it's important to share it with your spouse and
Mm.
tell them, like, hey, I was with a dude that did this to me. And like what do they always say? Meet people where they are.
Yeah.
So I understand that you have this thing. Well, I don't want to hear all that. Like, we're going forward.
Right.
We can, but just know that this is why
gonna
I may
rise
be
up.
this way,
Right.
and they have to meet you where you are too. They have to understand that he don't want to talk about all that. He want to move forward.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way street. It's not just one person,
Damn, I
And
got
then
it.
don't take those triggers that we tell you about and then still use them against us. Like, say, for instance, if we tell you, okay, we were in an abusive relationship. Well, don't compare me to something. I ain't never beat your ass.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because that
diminishes.
Yeah, that still is painful. That makes us relive that trauma when we don't even have to, because 9 times out of 10, the point you're trying to prove still don't have anything to do with the trauma that you just brought up.
Yeah.
You're deflecting from whatever it is that you need to deal with. So you're bringing up a trauma that I shared with you and my vulnerability. And that's not fair.
Damn, I got to call somebody and apologize.
Yeah, you should step back. And I'm not saying
Siri,
well,
make a note.
hashtag call back and apologize.
Call back and apologize.
But you just have to step back sometimes when you get emotional, when people express themselves to you. Sometimes you have to step back
Sure.
and really think about what are they trusting you with? Because if I'm telling you, this was my background, this is where I came from, and you're doing this and it's making me feel this way, then step back for a second and say, where is she coming from?
Yeah.
Because she's coming, that is vulnerability.
Right.
And that's something hard for many people in general.
I was going to say that
do.
the question was what about women, but I think for men it's the same thing, because
It absolutely
I've always
is.
said that the beauty of being a woman, one of the many things that's great about being a woman, in my opinion, is that how easily you guys make relationships with one another, bonds.
Yeah.
I've seen women bond over brunch. Like,
Yeah, like this is my first
Mimosas.
time.
right.
So this is my
Yes.
first time seeing you face
Yes.
to face.
Yeah.
We've been like on it all week.
Exactly.
Hey,
But
like
men, we just don't do that. We bond over football. We bond over cigars. We bond over cars.
It has
But
to
we
be
never
something,
create
yeah.
that tight. Man, I need to talk to you about something.
Yeah.
Man, hold on, I ain't trying to hear all that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So when a man, somebody posted, Dixon posted this just today. If a black man tells you something,
Joseph.
yeah, Joseph Dixon. If a black man shares something with you that's very embarrassing or vulnerable or whatever, you should feel privileged, because
Yeah.
he chose you
Yeah.
to trust you.
I
with
hearted
or
that
whatever.
post, by the way, Joseph,
but it was
if
so
you're
real.
watching.
It was
I
so
actually
real.
have another question I want to ask you.
Oh, yeah.
Because they call that sapiosexual, where you have to get into my mind and get into my
Yeah,
panties.
yeah.
Tell us.
Mine and panties. Okay.
Yeah.
Sapiosexuals.
Yeah.
That's what they're not so much turned on by physical. It's more so
More
what you say
mental.
to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can stroke my. Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me, what is your idea of foreplay?
Good question.
Okay. Well, off the top, of course, physical. We're going to just push that to the side.
Side, yeah.
But I think that I'm really attracted to a man that can express himself in that way that's not okay for men to do.
Right.
That makes me feel closer to him, because I know he's sharing something with me that is hard for him
Yeah.
to say. So I feel like, I just want to rip your clothes off, because I know you're being real with me right now.
Yeah.
It's like it takes you to a different place with them, because while they're sharing these things with you, you want to share with them too,
Yes.
and that creates a bond that's not just it goes beyond physical. So yeah, sex can be all that, but if you can stimulate my mind and like just talk to me about stuff like something, this is a small thing, call me and say, what do you think about this? He wants to know my opinion. So he cares what I think.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, oh, okay, let me think about this because I want to make sure I give a straight up good answer and I'm honest.
Absolutely.
And then when I see that you actually took my advice, you don't have to, but that you actually care about what I say, that's like a huge turn on to me. Because, man, sometimes y'all just be like asking us shit and you don't give a damn what we saying really.
Yeah, when you
because you've already made up your mind.
Action
Because you've already made up your mind.
Well, no, now you put action behind something we've told you.
Yeah, it's not just that. We communicate differently.
We do.
Men,
that is true.
we communicate in straight lines. I'll tell you, hey, what happened today? Man, Johnny didn't stole my lunch, and I wanted to whoop his ass. End the story. That's it. We're done. If a woman tells that same story, well, let me tell you what happened. You remember Lisa, right? Yeah. Okay, Lisa's best friend,
Let me tell you
Karen.
the backstory.
Yeah, we got to lay it all out.
Get
to the point.
And so sometimes when you ask a woman as a man, what do you think? You're getting a lot more information than you actually wanted.
You want to get to the point.
Right.
Yeah.
And so as a man, we have to be very cognizant, I think, about the fact that we just communicate in different ways. And if you could be patient enough to wait when she finally says,
this
so
what
I,
you need to
so
do.
I think you should call them. All
After
right, thank
20
you, baby.
minutes,
Yes.
you're like, damn. Look, they even forgot what they asked.
Yeah. Call who? What the hell are you talking about? You asked me.
No, but that is true. It's just how we talk.
Right.
Like, I think we process information differently. You know? I was looking at something on Instagram. Everybody's on Instagram. So this guy was saying the other day, like, this guy came home and he was like, oh, he told his wife, I have this big idea, baby. I'm quitting my job. We're going to move out, this and that. Da, da, da. He said, the only thing your wife heard was, I'm quitting my job. Because that's her security. And now I don't feel safe because you're throwing, we basically flying by the seat of our pants. That doesn't make me feel safe and secure. But if he would have communicated to her where and said, look, I have this idea. It's going to take some time for me to get here, but these are the steps that I want to take to get to this point. She probably would have been like, okay.
Right.
But you come in talking about you quitting your job. Well, what we going to do? How we going to survive?
Right.
Let's
or
talk about this.
Or if you really fly,
exactly.
you present it in a way where it's her idea. When she's like,
now
you know
look
what,
at
baby,
you.
you know what you should do. You should just quit your job and then just focus on that.
And then she's
Damn,
going to be like,
girl.
I'm down with this, which is what you wanted all
That's what I
along.
want.
Yeah.
I ain't her.
Got to be smart.
Look, I ain't her. That ain't me. No.
Yeah, don't even
I'm
try
going to
that.
say, nah, what you,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
What
gonna
you
run
gonna
that by
do
me?
is
Yeah,
you
what
gonna
you gonna
keep
run
this
that by
job
me?
until these dreams
Yes,
start
we going to work
paying
on
off.
this little by little.
So
Yes.
somebody on my timeline said, flip side, my dad used to tell my sisters, be leery of a man who wants you to see him crying. Pure manipulation. And I believe that. I believe if a man shows vulnerability too quickly, like first date, I believe that is a setup for manipulation because it makes me think of the R. Kelly thing.
It's kind of like narcissistic in
It
a way.
is. So I remember when R. Kelly's wife was being interviewed, she said that he told her out the gate that he couldn't read well or whatever the case may be. And in that moment of vulnerability, it endeared her to him. And so then when he started doing other things, she kept wanting him to get back to that guy, which I don't think that he was ever that guy. I think that was all manipulation. So being grown, being a woman, in a power position, doing big things, which I'm just accustomed to because I'm surrounded by that type of greatness.
Clearly.
Just all this black girl magic in here. How does dating change when you are just, when you got your own light the way you do?
That's hard. Not gonna lie. I tend to run into men who have this idea about this social media person. Now that's what they see. They see, oh, she's fine, oh, she's this, she's that. I still cry. I still get pissed off. I'm still gonna piss you off. I still have, issues. I struggle with the same things everybody else does, but they have this idea that I'm whatever they see on social media, and that's not always the case.
It's almost like because you're so powerful that you're not human.
Yeah.
Like we don't get the permission statement to be vulnerable or to be in our feelings, or it's almost like our light is so grand that a person will see us like rejection will just roll off our shoulders. Whereas if we really care about a person and they reject us, we still feel it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how big of a powerhouse we are. Just went through that. Like
really?
Yeah.
So yeah, I know you feel it. You know how
dating
it is.
Very hard.
It is tough.
Being a successful woman or standing in your own light, success isn't always measured by the pocketbook.
Sure.
Sometimes your success is measured by the legacy that you're leaving behind. And men see that light, and some could be intimidated by it, but then there's others that actually gravitate towards it for the sense of being attached to you or feeling like, I just want to be able to say this is my girl because she's doing her thing.
Right.
When the intention is not really to reciprocate what they're expecting from you.
Exactly. That's well said. I love that.
Thank you.
So my next question for you is, what are you hoping for in love right now?
Right now? What time is it? At 8:26. Okay. What am I hoping for? So the things that I'm hoping for, what I'm learning is I want to be friends with the person that I'm involved with. Friends to where, like, not like cackling like I do with my girls, but I want to be able to, like, when something happens during the day, you want to call, girl, let me tell you what just happened. I want to do the same thing, baby. Let me tell you what this did. I don't want to say that, I want to be able to have that type of relationship to where I can share things with you, not like, oh, I'm going to say this with my girls. I want that consistency. That's important to me. Like, I want to know that I can count on you.
Right.
You're not going to leave me high and dry. Like, I need to know that you got my back because I'm going to have your back.
Right.
What else? Well, something you said about social media. I want to be with someone who can see past this and see who I really, really am. And in order to do that, you got to date me. You got to take me out. You got to be around
Court me, please.
You just got to spend time with me. You got to really be like, okay, she get on my nerves when she do that. I don't, like, I have OCD. I will line up shit in the house. And if you move it, I'm going to be like, why did you do that? I need that to be
right.
I need it to be back where it is. And to someone else that may be like, okay, she's a little crazy, but that's just my thing. I need order. I like order. So I just want somebody to be able to see past the outside and just really get to know me, because I got my shit, just like you said. We all got our shit.
We all do. Yes. So what's next with you? What's happening in your world, in the cold world?
Cold world. It's cold out here, y'all. I need a jacket. Actually, like right now, I will say this. I'm happy. It took me a long time to get happy, but I am happy. Single, dating, I'm happy either way. I'm very content with who I am. I'm whole on my own.
Okay.
So if someone comes along and I feel like they deserve a spot in my whole world, then I'm gonna let them in, because I'm gonna look at their actions.
Right.
But somebody has me smiling. Somebody has my attention. Someone. Nobody else is important to me right now.
Okay.
Me, I'm important, and right now they're important. So that's all I can say. Shout out, right. Shout out, person.
Come on through, person.
Come through, person. Nobody will know.
Person.
Because the internet is nasty.
I said my next one, I don't even want nobody to know we're dating.
Listen, you won't have a clue. You'll look up and be like, is she married? I got married on your ass. Yes.
But that brings up a good point, though. Should we be protecting our relationships from social media, or should we be flaunting them? I mean, being an influencer as you are.
I think that. Oh, that's a question.
No, I would say that it just depends. I feel like when you live out, I do live out loud, but sometimes living out loud comes at a price. So even like when, being a fitness professional, I work out and I post a picture in a bikini, somebody, then they want to come in my DM and say all this inappropriate stuff. And I'm just like, when is the last time you worked out? Because this is why I'm posting this stuff, because I'm trying to encourage you to say, you know what, I want my body to change. I want to be more healthy.
Right.
I think that it's really up to you and where you're comfortable. I don't personally want to put my relationship business out there, because I've seen my friends do it. Somebody say they're in a relationship, they go to his page. Oh, girl, look at him. Oh, girl, he got this. Oh, good. And then next thing I know, we have this whole formulated opinion about this person that's just based off of something that we see. We don't even know them. Yeah. I don't care enough to do all that.
Right. But God forbid you break up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, girl, they broke up. She took all his pictures down. Oh, shit.
And now they on his page.
Now they on his page.
DMing him. Up, trying to see who he
girl, he talking to somebody else. Bam. No, I'm good. I would rather not.
I'm going to take my L's in private from now on.
Listen, that's what they do, too.
You need somebody to talk to.
Yes, they'll backdoor you.
How you doing?
Yes, they'll backdoor you.
Or they'll act like they're looking to see how you doing by asking them.
Yeah.
Now you
backdoor hoes. Yeah. That's what that is.
Have you heard from Crystal?
Don't get drugged on the back street.
Listen, don't get drugged through the screen.
Don't let the face fool you.
No, and I think that happens. And I remember one time with a really good friend of mine, I told her one night, I was just like, I was talking to someone, and I said, look, it's 1,000 women out here I have to compete with. I don't want to have to compete with you. You're my friend.
Right.
So I expect you to have my back. I expect you to be the person that's going to if somebody stepping to you and they've already stepped to me, you shut that shit down.
Yeah.
You tell them like, nah, you have to talk to my girl, because that's what I'm gonna do for you.
Right.
But if I see that you can't do that for me, it's like, dude, you're not even a real homie.
Well, you're going to have to come back so we can talk about
Oh,
that friendship.
You must.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that sister girl friendship.
Just a friendship.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's everything in life is a lesson. You learn so much from your friends. You learn so much from strangers. You know how it is in life.
So we're going to close out.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to let everybody know to go follow at Chris_J_Cole.
Yes.
And also subscribe to her blog online.
Yeah.
It's on Wixsite, right?
Yes.
And it's Real Cold World.
Yes.
Look for her. And we have MixNSingle has a picnic coming up August the 4th from 12 to 5 at Tom Bass. You can look for it on Eventbrite, MixNSingle_picnic.eventbrite.com. Tickets are $10. We have a DJ, we have hookah, we have vendors, we have all-star barbecue and burger food truck, we have games, and we'll be giving away prizes and all kinds of things. So I need you guys to show up and show out for the picnic. Also, make sure you are subscribing to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Please. We need 1,000 subscribers. So I need you guys to really, really, really get to that. Also, share these videos. We're doing them online. You guys will get them for free. Won't be forever.
Hello.
So make sure you are sharing. Also, if you're single and you have not joined MixNSingle on Facebook, I don't understand what you're doing. Why are you even looking at my face? Because I mean, I'm saying, but Tony, tell us what you got going on. We only got a few seconds left.
You can check me out at TonyMasseySpeaks.com. I just relaunched my website. I'm really proud of it. So please check me out there. I'm blogging. I've been publishing some work on a couple of online magazines, Medium, Thought Catalog, so much, so forth and so on. So go to TonyMasseySpeaks.com and you can catch everything I'm doing there. And fellas, show up to the picnic. I ain't trying to be there all alone.
And I bet it be nothing but girls.
Listen, I work really hard at getting guys to come out. So they come out. They come out most times. Most times we have events.
Pickings are
Go ahead, Onay.
As
What you
far
got?
as me, I am Onay, Onney, the CEO. You can find me on all social media platforms where I'm constantly posting all my upcoming events and projects. So I'm not going to hold you with a 5-minute platform. So just go ahead and follow me, Onney, the CEO, on all social media, IG, Twitter, and Facebook.
All right, y'all. So we're closing out tonight. Thank you for joining us. We will see you guys in 2 weeks at 8 p.m. Share this video everywhere. Share it. On your page, in MixNSingle, on your little single groups, all your little single groups y'all in. Share them and tell everybody about us. We appreciate you joining us again, and y'all have a good night.